Alright, so just to recap what we cover in today's live stream. So tomorrow we have job openings and consumer confidence in the US. Now, in terms of the dollar index, we are still within the same range, right? Price basically still respecting the lows. Something that is missing in here is a break to the downside, a break of structure that literally opens the door for price to start having a deeper retracement to the downside. You have the really strong October in the dollar, quite the opposite again on the pound, euro, Aussie dollar, and so on. So we need to see that break of structure. On the euro dollar, we actually have already a break to the upside, which start showing some signs of potential bullishness on the euro dollar, but we still need that confirmation also on the dollar index. Now, I have a few potential scenarios, okay? Until we actually have a proper break to the downside, I'm going to only look for small retracements instead of a big retracement in here. Now, we have a potential zone in here that price can still react from, or eventually we can even fake out these highs, and only after that we are going to have a little bit of a deeper move. Bear in mind that I'm still totally open for the idea that price and the dollar index can even go all the way closer to those highs. So that's something on the dollar index. When then you are looking at the euro dollar, price respected quite nicely the lows again. We can start seeing some bullishness. Pound dollar is already breaking new highs, basically creating higher highs and higher lows, which starts showing a little bit of bullishness as well. Again, I could still see more bearishness on the pound dollar in the bigger picture, but for now we can have that retracement. Aussie dollar, New Zealand, and so on. They are actually approaching good levels that you can start looking for longs. I do like the lows already on New Zealand dollar, so that would already be a low in place. Aussie dollar, I would like maybe a little bit more of a move to the downside before looking for longs. Looking at the yen pairs, that we had now the situation where apparently the government lost the majority in yesterday's election, and let's see how that's going to play out with the yen and with the Nikkei, right? So apparently we had a big gap to downside today. Price is finally approaching and finally reacting from a level that I've been waiting for. Last week I mentioned that I was looking for price to create a new low potentially before looking for a reversal in here, but again we still need to see highs being broken for that. We did manage to break slightly this high, we never closed the gap, so that would be a possibility to look for or a move to the upside in here on the yen index, which means a move to the downside across the euro yen, dollar yen, and so on. So that's a play that I'm going to be paying attention to for tomorrow in here. In terms of the US indices, we are still literally within the range. We are going to have the big tech companies announcing their earnings this week with Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and so on. So expect plenty of volatility, especially at the closing of the US session. That starts tomorrow, so we'll see. Like basically S&P just ranging. Again, I still see the possibility to see price moving to the downside, but if you do have a new high being created, I'm totally okay with it, and I'm going to continue still to looking for shorts in here. Nasdaq as well, kind of respected quite nice with those highs. If you start breaking below this structure, there's a potential to see more downside. If price keep respecting this structure, then you may start to challenge a little bit more the highs on the left side. The Dow, we're starting to see a little bit of bullishness after that strong move to downside last week, respected perfectly the target. And now we're going to see if price actually managed to break above this high and starts moving a bit more to the upside, or if you keep respecting this level, maybe can look a little bit more to downside. And DAX, I still like the idea of looking for shorts at these highs. If price creates new highs, totally okay. We have plenty of structure in here that perhaps you need to collect that liquidity before moving to the downside, but in my opinion this is a move to the downside, so I'm still okay looking for price to just fake out these most recent highs in here. I think there's maybe enough liquidity for price to just fake out that and moving to the downside, so that's going to be a play I'm going to be looking for on the DAX. Dollar CAD and the rest of the CAD pairs, they've been quite bullish. I still need to see a little bit more of weakness before looking for a move downside. Dollar franc Swiss is starting to show some weakness as well, so I'm going to continue to look for potential shorts in there. Bitcoin is approaching the 70k, quite interesting, super strong in here. In my opinion, there's maybe just one last level in here that can hold price, and that's somewhere around here. Aside from that, price can just literally break and create new all-time highs as we are approaching the US election, and maybe if Trump actually wins, that can be the new catalyst to see a big momentum now on BTC. Ethereum is not as bullish as Bitcoin at this point. It still needs to break this structure to start moving to the upside. And then you look at silver and gold. They are still within that range. We'll see if we're going to eventually get new highs on gold and oil, which opened with a big gap to downside because of the situation between Israel and Iran, and finally is now close, or it's at the level that I mentioned last week that I was waiting for price to get to before looking for long. So this is my opportunity now that I'm going to start positioning myself to look for long opportunities now that price is approaching, or it is at these lows. So that's basically it. Again, potential shorts on the dollar, which means longs on the New Zealand, potentially euro and pound and so on. Oil, I'm going to be looking for longs. US indices, potentially to see if there's some opportunities to look for shorts. or not. And the end pairs as well, potential short opportunities as well as price gets closer to those levels that I'm looking for. So thank you very much, guys. With that being said, again, subscribe to the channel if you're getting value, and if you want to join me during this pre-market analysis, I'm streaming every day at 7 p.m. So feel free to join, feel free to get ready, like be proactive when you are analyzing the market. Don't just be reactive. The key aspect as well to help you with consistency and to become a consistent profitable trader is to know what you are looking for beforehand. Like it's preparation. Preparation is key if you actually want to eventually become consistent. So feel free to join. Let's analyze the market together and let me know what you are looking for as well. With that being said, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Obrigado.